Hi everyone, it's Jay here, and these are the manga and manhwa releases for the first half of January 2025. As you can probably tell from my voice, I am not well at the moment, so there may be some strange edits in the video where I have to cut my coughing out. I'm sorry about that, but I hope you enjoy the video. We're going to start with the Kodansha releases, Edo Volume 6. As Aito and the other survivors swear vengeance on the project's mastermind, Yuin and Riko become ever more deeply entangled with the cult of Shinra. Can the Ado ever break free of the men behind the curtain? Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You Volume 5. High school memories last a lifetime, but the pandemic threatens to steal these special moments from Mizuho and her friends. The students successfully rally to have their school festival, bringing hope and boosting morale. Is the perfect escape to find romance, but for Kizuki, Mizuho still won't return his affections. Will he wind up settling for unrequited love? We're getting a new series released, Love on the Horizon. Art university student Nagi Kitagawa is hopelessly in love with Yu Yamasaki, his senpai in the folk song club, who also happens to be his next door neighbour. Yu seems to have it all, good looks, a great personality, and he's also super popular. So Nagi can't help but think he'd never fall for a shy, innocent country bumpkin like him. One night, after drinking too much at one of their club get-togethers, Nagi helps a drunk Yu get home safe. But before he can go back to his own apartment, Yu wraps Nagi in his arms and falls asleep, trapping Nagi in his embrace. Nagi sneaks out the next morning, careful to not wake Yu up, and vows to keep the incident a secret. But when Nagi finds himself growing closer and closer to Yu, his unrequited feelings only grow stronger. Medalist Volume 6. As the Chubu block competition heats up, every skater is giving their all on the ice. Inori's moment is fast approaching, but the pressure of competing against her novice class rivals has her on edge. For Inori and Tsukasa, it's time to fulfill their promise they made to each other. Against all odds, and with no expectations from the crowd, this determined duo is ready to chase a miracle on the ice. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie Volume 19. Entrance exams are just around the corner, so naturally everyone's decided to spend a frigid New Year's Day at the beach. Time will tell if Izumi-kun and Shikimori-san will gain entry to the same university. The fight to make their dreams a reality begins now. Spoil Me Please Hinamori-san, Volume 2. Caring for Yaya Suo is now one of Ichigo Hinamori's daily chores. Not that she hates it though. Ichigo gets to see a side of the class princess that no one else knows about. Plus her beloved Yaya senpai relies on her to bandage her cuts, pick out her clothes, and help her out with the many holes she digs herself in, trying to help others. Then the school's number 2 student and self-proclaimed rival to Yaya, Reiko Ijuin, appears, determined to take Yaya down. Your Lie in April Volume 2. Kosei's road back to playing the piano has been rough, but he's finally beginning to regain his confidence, even though he still has trouble hearing the notes. But as his first solo competition in years closes in, Kosei will have to deal with re-entering a cutthroat world, where old rivals still remember and resent Kosei's younger self, the precocious human metronome. So this is Omnibus 2 and it includes volumes 4, 5 and 6. Ajin Demi-Human Complete Volume 2. Glib high schooler Kei has discovered that humanity has no mercy for a demi-human. When more of their kind come out of the woodworks, their morals vary. Blue Lock Episode Nagi Volume 2. This is the prequel manga series to Blue Lock. Roused by Eigo's speech at orientation, Ryo jumped headfirst into the Blue Lock program and dragged Nagi in kicking and screaming. Now the real work begins as Eigo announces their next test, the first selection. Origin Volume 8. Nothing can change Mei's feelings for Origin, not even the revelation that he's a robot. After a narrow escape from a deadly foe, they go on the run together, Origin pledging to protect Mei no matter the cost. Sheltering Eves Volume 2. Both living in a children's home due to abuse, Yoru and Tenjaku only have a year left before they are legally required to leave the home. With stronger feelings developing, Yoru has always felt protected by Tenjaku, but one day Tenjaku's father reappears without warning. His father wants to reunite and live together as a family, but what will Tenjaku decide to do? The Seven Deadly Sins Omnibus, Volume 14. This larger sized volume contains volumes 40 to 41, and it's the final omnibus of the series. Verses Volume 2. After one last desperate attempt to defeat the natural enemies driving humanity towards extinction, 13 worlds have collided and brought their people together, and the natural enemies as well. The hero Hallow of Sorcerian and his companions, along with the Mecha Ordinance's commander Kayla and her team, suddenly find themselves driven into a corner by the combined forces of their enemies, the demons and the robots. Witch Hatter Talia, Volume 13. The true mastermind responsible for the havoc in Ezrest is subdued at last, but not without exacting a heavy price on Coco. She is still eager to rejoin the search for Custas, and fortunately Belderroot knows just the spell to allow her to do so, without over-worrying Quiffery. Meanwhile, the other witches are called to where they are most needed in the aftermath. As strings of fate never meant to interact are further entangled, the starlight reveals society's true nature. Sublime are releasing My Dearest Patrolman Volume 3. This is the final volume of the series, so make sure you pick this one up to see how it all ends. Stigmata Love Bites Volume 4. The murder of Detective Kuroiwa's ex-wife has Officer Asako reliving her life in his dreams, and since it appears the only way to pull Asako out of such a dream is to be touched, Kuroiwa orders him to move in temporarily so he can always be close at hand, but sharing the same space and the same bed has Kuroiwa thinking less about his failed marriage and more about his awkward, shy subordinate. From Titan Comics, we're getting a new series called Shadows of Kyoto. For fans of historical horror and real-world ghost stories comes this collection of chilling tales surrounding some of the most haunted sites in the Japanese city of Kyoto. Moving on to Viz Media, Black Clover Volume 36. As the battle against Lucius and his paladins heats up, Noelle joins the fight with a surprising new power. But for the Clover Kingdom to win, they'll need to rely on Asta once again. Can he arrive in time? Chainsaw Man Volume 17. As public safety starts to close in on the leaders of the Chainsaw Man Church, the organization's terrifying true plan will be revealed. Meanwhile, both Asa and Denji will have to make tough decisions when their own lives are on the line. Dark Gathering Volume 11. Kei Taro's life once again hangs in the balance as Yaoi and Eiko hunt down the source of the fungal curse afflicting him. Will they be able to exorcise this vile curse before it fully takes hold, or will the undying wrath of a man betrayed drive Kei Taro to do the unthinkable? Last Quarter Volume 2. Mizuki is trapped in a crumbling mansion, bereft of memories except for the time she spent with Adam. Hotaru and her friends have been working from her fragmentary recollections to discover what happened. Will Mizuki be reunited with Adam? And that is being released on the 7th of January. Like a Butterfly Volume 10. After seeking advice from Atohira, Suren is determined to show more courage in her relationship with Kawasumi. But when Atohira realizes he also has feelings for Suren, his rivalry with Kawasumi reaches new heights. When the school's cultural festival rolls around, will the tension between the two finally boil over? Marriage Toxin Volume 5. Gero swore to protect Hamster Master Arashiyama, but she's been kidnapped by the Beastmaster. Now Gero must team up with none other than Pichi the Hitman Hunter to help rescue her. But the Beastmaster is 2 steps ahead. Have they been playing into his hands this whole time? And what does the unexpected return of Watermaster Ushio mean for Gero? Moriarty the Patriot Volume 18. Sherlock receives orders from the United States government to capture a group of vicious landsharks who have been coercing poor landowners into giving up their property. Billy insists on accompanying Sherlock when he realises that he and the leader of these ruthless outlaws have a history. Otaku Vampire's Love Bite Volume 2. Hina's new best friends Kyuta and Hoshino are in dire straits when their club's costumes get ruined days before the college festival. All is not lost though, and Hina is very excited to lend a hand and Victor's entire wardrobe at this classic Japanese event. But her otaku joy at cosplaying in a maid cafe is tarnished when a strange customer challenges everything she thought she knew about her own kind. We're getting a new series called Ruri Dragon. Ruri is a half-dragon. Her mum admits Ruri inherited her draconic traits from her father, who is actually a dragon. As if dealing with curious classmates wasn't already challenging enough, Ruri and her dragon genes literally turn up the heat in the middle of a lecture. Her ordinary life is about to be anything but. Volume 15 of Sakamoto Days. It's the legendary fighter Hyo and sniper Heisuke versus the magnetic Kumanomi, who will emerge victorious in the fierce battle between three assassins with different styles of killing. Tamon's B-Side Volume 6. Face member Natsuki has been struggling to write a new song for the band, and nothing seems to help, especially not a run-in with his ex. Can he snap out of his funk in time for Face's surprise performance at Utage's school festival? Wolf Girl and Black Prince Volume 11. Erika lands an after-school job to earn spending money for her senior trip and runs into her old middle school friend Terasaki, whose flame for her is reignited upon their reunion. Meanwhile, Kyoya ends up on the trip planning committee with Kasai, a female classmate who develops a fascination with him. With so little time for each other, will Erika and Kyoya's love survive? Another new series, Beyblade X. Amateur blader Robin Kazami is left without a team after a crushing defeat. Things start to look up when he runs into former Beyblade champion Jackson Cross, who is on his own journey to fight back to the top of the X Tower, under the alias Blader X. This unlikely duo teams up and vows to rise to the top of Beyblade. Destroy all humans, they can't be regenerated. A Magic the Gathering manga Volume 2. It's the summer of 1998 Japan. Hajime and Emi enjoy some fun in the sun at the pool and cast spells and summon creatures at their first official Magic the Gathering tournament, after which they start to see fireworks, literally and figuratively. Disney Twisted Wonderland, the Manga Anthology Volume 2, the second installment in a collection of small but mighty adventures featuring the characters and the world of Twisted Wonderland. Each tale is written and drawn by a different manga creator. Another new series called Firefly Wedding. On the surface, Satoko has it all. She's beautiful, the daughter of a nobleman, and at the prime age for marriage. Unfortunately, she is also quite ill and only has a short time left to live. Before she can secure a marriage that will redeem her worth in her family's eyes, she finds herself the target of the mysterious assassin Shinpei, and her plans are put in jeopardy. In order to save herself, she makes a desperate proposal of marriage. When it comes to love, however, Shinpei takes Until Death Do We Part seriously. Komi Can't Communicate Volume 32. It's Komi's final year of high school, and she only has 21 more friends to make before she hits 100. But when her friend Emoyama faces a crisis, Komi is ready to put all her friend-finding activities on hold in order to help her out. Mao Volume 19. Nanoka and Mao are obliged to work with their enemy Sasuga to save a young woman from being sacrificed to a mysterious water god. Then the cat demon Byoki attacks one of Mao's allies. Spy X Family Volume 13. Twilight is on the ropes after his battle with an Austanian spy. Can Nightfall save Twilight from disaster? Will Wise manage to recover their stolen secrets? And what will become of Lloyd and Yor's marital crisis? Meanwhile, Anya's friendship scheme gets thrown off by an unexpected gift from Damien. Yasha Hime Princess Half-Demon Volume 6. As they continue their journey westward, Towa, Setsuna and Moroha become ensnared in Zero's deadly trap, but Inuyasha, Kagome and Rin finally make an appearance to protect their beloved girls. Their reunion is short-lived as the princesses must make their way toward Hizen. A terrifying sea creature blocks their path forward, and the only one capable of helping them is Shiori, a powerful half-demon who Inuyasha met years before. Malevolent Spirits Mononogatari Volume 9. As a result of the meeting between the three great Seinome clans, 2 new Seinome are added to Botan's security detail. Much to the chagrin of everyone in the Nagatsuki household, Hyoma takes it all in his stride, determined to keep protecting Botan, even when offered the chance to go after the paper umbrella Tsukumogami. But the atmosphere at the Nagatsuki house becomes tense when Hyoma learns the true goal of one of the new Seinome. Another release from Seven Seas Entertainment, Fire in His Fingertips Volume 6. Ryo and Soma are finally ready to take the next big step, moving in together, which means they need to figure out what kind of apartment they'd like to live in. Though they each have separate needs, the process starts off smoothly, with only a few bumps along the way, like opening up about their relationship to Soma's parents. Surprisingly, the biggest hurdle is Soma's younger sister, Mei, who doesn't like Ryo at all. Can Ryo salvage their relationship, if not for her sake, for Soma's? Kageki Shoujo Volume 12. This shoujo manga is about the drama of all-women musical theatre. After hogging the spotlight during their acting class assignments, Sarasa is in the doghouse with her friends. They still have another scene to perform, and Sarasa is determined to redeem herself. Can she rein in her showboating nature and learn to work as part of a team? My Sister Took My Fiancé, and Now I'm Being Courted by a Beastly Prince, Volume 3. Cordelia has earned the title of the Lion Saint and received an engagement to Prince Leonhardt, but her future sister-in-law, Femina, won't stand for it. She demands Cordelia refuse the position and her betrothal. Her tantrum is so childish and over the top that it's honestly kind of cute, but could this be a warning sign of how rocky a road waits ahead for Cordelia and her prince? A new series called Blood Night Market Volume 1. Step into the pulsating heart of Blood Night City, a metropolis teeming with vampires thirsty for blood and humans eager to sell. In this dark urban landscape, Sotetsu toils as an employee of the Blood Control Bureau, an organisation determined to stamp out illegal vampire activities. But when he crosses paths with the enigmatic Mozu, a self-proclaimed vampire gourmand, Sotetsu's world is suddenly turned upside down. For the first time ever, a vampire craves his undesirable blood, but could there be more to Mozu's desires? Mysterious Disappearances Volume 4. A Tsukumogami is an inanimate object that gains life after 100 years of service to its master. But the accelerationist digital age means that modern devices are gaining souls right now. What can a burnt-out novelist and some devilish siblings do about it, especially when they must also face some classic mysteries, including the Princess of Books and that infamous harbinger of truth, the Black Cat? The Most Notorious Talker Runs the World's Greatest Clan, Volume 8. So this series starts with young Noel, who's the grandson of the Empire's mightiest hero and promised his dying grandfather to become the world's greatest adventurer. But Noel has been assigned to the weakest class of adventurers, a talker whose only skill is to enhance the abilities of other heroes. How can he possibly find glory with only support skills? By being ruthless with them. Good, evil, it's all the same to Noel, as he manipulates his allies, controls his friends, and outfoxes endless monsters from the deepest abysses. In this one, under Harold's watch, Blue Beyond emerged victorious against the Winged Knights, earning the right to form a clan and bringing Noel one step closer to the regalia. My New Life as a Cat Volume 8. Now has done it. After weeks of trial and error, he's figured out how to return to his human form. No longer stranded in the body of a cat, he finally has everything he wanted. But what comes next? What of his relationship with Chica? Is he ready to leave his cat life behind for good? The Strange Adventure of a Broke Mercenary, Volume 4. This series follows seasoned mercenary Lauren, who is the sole survivor of a disastrous battle that destroys the rest of his company, and so he must find a new way to survive in the world. With no friends or connections, he has no hope of joining an adventuring party, until enigmatic priestess Lapis offers to partner up with him. In this volume, to repay his debt, ex-mercenary Lauren parties up once again with cleric Lapis as adventurers for hire. Their latest mission is to escort the Chief of State's only daughter, Shayna, back to her hometown. Along the way, however, their fellow adventurers keep inexplicably disappearing. The previous volume of this series came out in 2022, so it's been quite a while since the last one. The Duke of Death and His Maid Volume 16. This is the final volume of the series, so make sure you go pick this one up to find out how it all ends. 365 Days to the Wedding Volume 6. With the threat of being sent to Siberia no longer looming over their heads, Takuya and Rika find that their lives are better together than apart. I don't want to say more because of spoilers. Tokyo Revengers Volumes 27 and 28. I just cannot say anything about this volume because it is spoilers galore. All I will say is the fight is over and Takemichi has some serious decisions to make. I quit my apprenticeship as a Royal Court Wizard Volume 2. Leaving the Royal Court of Egdolm and all its political intrigues behind, Ilya escapes to a nice quiet life in the countryside. Word about her skills spread, and soon enough she gained some renown as a magic item craftswoman. But things don't stay quiet for long, from getting kidnapped along with some elves to being coerced to partner with a sleazy businessman. Things sure are far from peaceful. And what's up with the demon Burial? Could it be that he has feelings for Ilya? The Barbarian's Bride Volume 2. The West sends their strongest knight, Serafina de Lavillant, to lead an invading force against the barbaric tribes of the East. She fails. Worse, she is kidnapped and receives a marriage proposal. And it comes from none other than Vior, heir to the most powerful barbarian tribe. At first, Sarah is shocked at the idea of taking rival knights as brides and other strange customs. But as she interacts with the villagers and fights alongside Vior, how will her thoughts about barbarians change? When she finds a former subordinate living a happy family life in the village, will Sarah change her views about starting a family with Vior as well? Sora and the House of Monsters Volume 4. While searching for Kirik's master, Sora and the gang are suddenly attacked by a mysterious monster. Sora takes up arms to protect her newfound family, and the battle reveals unexpected secrets about Kirik's past. What is the real hidden reason that Kirik began his monster house building journey in the first place? Failure Frame Volume 9. So the full title is Failure Frame, I Became the Strongest and Annihilated Everything with Low-Level Spells. While Toka and the newly established Lord of the Flies Brigade face off against fearsome humanoid monsters, he continues to level up and acquire new skills. Each step takes them closer and closer to the Forbidden Witch's lair, and the promise of learning more about the Forbidden Curse. Meanwhile, his classmates train and battle with the Demon Empire's army. Despite their efforts, friction begins tearing them apart. Can any alliance withstand the challenges of Allion? Tiger and Dragon Volume 2. Torn between her two devoted childhood friends, Konomi decides to swear off love for good. But neither Kagetora nor Tadzuromi are willing to go down without a fight. While each boy tries to win her over in their own way, and Konomi struggles to decide how she really feels, a sudden accident leaves her locked inside a room with Kagetora. Will this unexpected turn of events give him the chance to steal her heart? A new series called Glasses with a Chance of Delinquents. This has been described as a sweet romance manga about looking beyond a person's past to discover who they really are. Momose has always longed for peaceful high school life. She wants nothing to do with hoodlums, delinquents, or troublemakers. When she meets Ichikura, an inconspicuous black-haired boy with glasses, he looks like a normal, nice guy. But it turns out that back in junior high he was a nefarious delinquent. He keeps assuring her that he's changed his ways, but he's still pretty quick to pick fights. Has Ichikura really turned over a new leaf? And will Momose keep quiet about his rowdy past? From Square Enix, Mobsters In Love Volume 3. This is the final volume of the series, so if you're looking for a cute romance manga that is only 3 volumes short, go check this series out. Just Like Mona Lisa Volume 4. In this world, people are born without a gender. Their bodies shift towards their desired gender when they reach 12 years old. Until Hinase's 18th spring, they lived content without a gender. In this one, Shiori and Ritsu grapple with their true feelings as they imagine how it would feel in a same-gender couple with Hinase. To both their surprise, they learn that other classmates have more complex views on romance and gender than they thought. So these were the manga and manhwa releases for the first half of January. If you'd like to get 5% off any of the manga and manhwa from SciFier.com, you can use the code Jay'sManga. But otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic start of 2025. I hope you get to buy all the manga and manhwa that you want this year. I know I will certainly be trying to. Have a lovely month, everyone. Bye!